Hello, today we will try to understand some of the basic numbers and their relationship to the abstract uh, language for understanding consciousness. Uh, some of the fundamental numbers which we all think that we do understand to some extent, like number 0, number 1, number 2, aren't as straightforward as we think. It's one of the most trickiest, and there are a lot of depths in these numbers. Today we will try to understand these numbers in a perspective that will be used for understanding the self. Okay, so you are seeing a blank paper here. So assume this blank paper as 0. So the extent of the current, though there is no limit to the total space of this blank paper, like it can extend on both axes on either directions to a limitless extent. Okay, so in this blank paper, assume that you are trying to have one particular center. There can't be a center without a boundary, and there can't be a boundary without a center. So they both actually are two pairs, like center and boundary are, they always come in pair. So now what we will do is, we will try to, we first assume that this paper is 0, so which means there is nothing in this paper. So now we are going to make this paper non-zero. How do you do? So what we do is, we assume that this is the paper. Okay, from this paper we mark a center, a boundary, we take that boundary out. Now what has happened to this paper? So what has happened is, you have got a bounded surface, a boundary with a center out. So that bounded surface which you take out of a boundless surface, you can call this as 1. Okay, so what is 1? 1 is nothing but anything, a bounded surface that is taken out of a boundless surface. So if this is 1, in order to maintain the zeroness of this paper, this hole that is formed on the surface becomes -1. So they all come in pair. So as long as this circle, the bounded surface, is part of the whole plane, there is nothing to say this is the center, this is the boundary, or it's a plain empty boundary, it's a 0. The moment you mark a center and take a boundary out, that bounded surface becomes 1, and the emptiness that is created by removing the bounded surface on the plane becomes -1. Now this is the thing, you try to make it as a bigger boundary. Still this is a boundary as a whole. So as a whole this is 1. So the thing is, 1 is doesn't have any size. Actually this is 1, or that it's something, a bounded surface that is taken out of a blank plane. This whole is also 1, and this whole is also 1. So how do you understand the washer. So this is the washer, and this washer is what is most important for a understanding of clash of perspectives. See, had you had the surface like this one, this is a null set. See, nothing is inside and everything is outside. Now, so what is a universe set? Everything is inside, nothing is outside. So they come in pair, like so now we saw that a universe set is nothing but everything is inside, nothing is outside, and a null set is nothing but nothing is inside, everything is outside. So they all come in pairs. The moment a null universe set is formed, somewhere on the blank page a null set is also created. So they both occur together. Now, how does this have an impact on the washer? So we saw that when you take a 1 out, a minus 1 is created. So this is this gap is minus 1. Now you take the outer surface out. So you have a 1 here, one full boundary, right? So we will write it this way. The inner circle is minus 1 because the part is removed, right? This is minus 1. This whole as a whole, this outer circle, if you draw as a whole, this is 1. As a whole, this is 1 without this inner part being removed. So what is this gap in between? If this whole equal to washer plus inner hole, washer, this hole is actually 1. This there isn't anything, this hole is 1. On the inside there is a hole, so there is a darkness. So washer plus minus 1. So washer is equal to 2, which is 1 minus of minus 1, that is 2. So this shaded area, the washer area, is actually 2. So now what do we understand from this? Coming back to the starting point, we started with a very blank paper and we called that blank paper as 0. From that 0 we actually created a 1 or a 1, and what was inside was minus 1, and then we tried to understand what is a washer. So this is 2, which is duality. So nothingness is the source of all dualities. So how do you try to prove it in a different way? We will start with a 0. And we create a bounded surface or light and call it as 1, and darkness or minus 1. So 1 plus minus 1 would add up to the 0, so the blank surface. Now what is this 1? if you take this full circle, you can write it as one by 2, this whole 1, plus half of 1 by 2, 1 by 4, plus half of 1 by 2, 1 by 8, half of 1 by 8, which is 1 by 16, plus you can keep on breaking it, which is 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 squared plus 1 by 2 cube, which is nothing but the Zeno's paradox. You would have come across this concept before. Now, what is this minus 1? If 1 is all about synthesizing broken parts together, minus 1 should be all about breaking the whole into lot of pieces. See, you can think it this way. Let us say 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 8 plus, call it as this sum. Now multiply this by 2. 2 sum is equal to 1 into 2 will be 2. 1 and 2 into 2 will be 4. 2 into 4 will be 8. Minus 1 minus minus, they all cancel out. So to add these two together, you would end up minus s is equal to 1 or s is equal to minus 1. So you can say that darkness is nothing but 1 is nothing but 2 power 0 plus 2 is nothing but 2 power 1 plus 3 4 is 2 squared plus 8 is 2 cube. You can add. So you can write it as two power minus 0. 0 is nothing but 1 plus minus 1. If you add these two, it will be 0 is the sum of all, or you can treat 0 as nothing but the source of all dualities.